I remember being so ill and so sick and not feeling well, knowing that there was a whole nother journey ahead of me. I had to find out what was wrong, and I had to make sure that this didn't happen to anyone else. It didn't end my life. That we handled this in the right way. I had never sued anybody in my life and hadn't planned on it, but I knew that my life was more valuable than someone coming and ruining it. I knew I could get back from dialysis, from kidney failure, but they told me that I seen all the people that were dying, and I seen that they said there was no cure. They didn't know what was going on. So back to Roger, the way I handled that was Diane and I were going to Bible study on a Wednesday night. I remember getting the package from Booth and Kossoff, and the lawyer's name was Roger Booth, and I said, I had prayed about it. I said, God, I really need help finding the person that's going to represent me and my sister and myself, with this case. I didn't know anything about the legal system. I didn't know anything about what was happening to me. I didn't know it was way bigger than me. So I brought it to church that night, and I remember after church talking to my pastor, and I said, these are the people that we're going to use. Roger Booth, this is an attorney. And I said, I really prayed about this, and I believe this is something that God helped us to find. He did, divinely. I believe divinely. And Diane, he used my sister. So that night we prayed. And I remember her praying and Diane and I agreeing that if this was a person, that everything would work out right. He would know what he was doing. It would bring justice to me. And I wouldn't have to fight this myself. No worry. I mean, that he would use his ability and his skill and everything. And so sure enough, I signed. We came in and met with Roger, and from that moment on, I knew that this was a person. I knew this was bigger than me and my case and my sister, and I knew that moment we had the right person. Just from his temperament, he listened to me, looked at me in my eye, and let me know, that he was aware of it. Not only was he aware of it, but he had another client who had experienced this. And so we signed, and I trusted him. I've never been disappointed. Never.